Hey, you guys, can everyone hear me okay? Hello, hello. Oh, you're welcome, Cadis. Hey, everybody. So Tater is going to be, or Taylor is going to be joining us in just a moment or so. I hope you guys can hear me. I have to talk like really low tonight. It's one of those nights where I'm not sure certain someone is going to stay asleep, so I'm in the living room, literally under a bunch of covers, trying to pull this off. So Tay is going to come on here and share her experience with CJ. She's going to be sticking to her story, but there are other things that she will be mentioning or certain subjects she will be touching on. But mainly, it's just going to be focusing on her experience. Um, I'm going to put myself on mute and let her just take the stage and let us all know, who this person is really about, like what this person is really about. Um, Difference of opinion is okay in the chat. It's okay. We're not always all going to agree on everything. However, disrespect does not. So we're not going to be shaming anybody. I know everybody who's normally here. I know you guys all know how it goes. The Breezy Bunch, I don't have to worry about, but I'm talking about any trolls, anybody else who wants to come in. You can have a difference of opinion. I'm just asking that you be respectful to our guest and to our chat. Um, so CJ is blocked from being able to come in here. If he comes in under different accounts, please block him right away. I'm not trying to make anybody feel uncomfortable. So, all right, I'm going to add Tay onto the screen. I am going to mute myself, and this is just your moment to shine and let us know, okay? Can you hear me okay?
There we go. I was muted.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much for just allowing me to be on your platform. I just want to say that I have so much respect for you for that. And it just means a lot to me that you were just willing to even give me the time of day
Of
to talk
course.
about it. And you're so sweet too. And you're
Thank
so
you.
respectful too. So it
Thank you so
makes it
much.
easy.
So, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and step back. And like I said, everybody just be respectful. And hey, everybody, I want to thank you so much for being here. And it means a lot to us. So thank you. And we can ask questions at the end if you guys have anything you want to ask. Okay. All right. Bye, you guys. Well, not bye. I'm still here. I'll probably put something in the chat. All right.
Well, hello. Hi. I'll start off with my name. Hi, my name is Taylor. And you can call me TayTerTottiez. You can call me Tay. You can call me whatever, Taylor, whatever you feel comfortable with. Um, I just want to thank you all too in the audience for being here and everybody who watches the replay in the future. Thank you as well for your time. I'm just going to go ahead. I wrote down some notes to just kind of get me going on the experience and jog my memory. I have been within the CJ community, RSN community, for 6 years now. It's been a long time, a lot of ups and downs and scandals and things like that that I really didn't expect when I first met CJ, but happened regardless. So, I first discovered CJ as a very small creator on an app called YouNow. I started watching him initially because of the social repose drama and the coverage that other creators like him covered in that area of YouNow and sort of the YouTube drama area. Being that he's always used other people's content instead of some of his own, it did appeal to me as a quick and easy way to get recaps of other channels that I didn't have the time to watch. I watched him on and off for a while. And I guess the whole appeal to his streams on YouNow were because they felt authentic in a way based off of like an opinion. And then what I mentioned previously was that it was an easy way to get recapped on other creators. He was heavily involved with fighting with people like the Blarg. I don't know if you guys know who the Blarg was. But they were a clip channel, basically, and they were one that he heavily beefed with. So that brings us to kind of the grape allegations, because that happened in the YouNow area, the YouNow days. That all occurred on that platform, YouNow, and what I mean by that is the streaming event that led up to the moment where they streamed, going over in extensive details, that night's events. I did see that stream, and I saw it live. It was horrible to watch. It was something that I do not agree should have ever been streamed, but it was. The community was in chaos after that, rightfully so, because everything, for lack of a better term, was exploding. And he really was making it clear that he did something morally wrong. He had a VC in Discord. It's an app for communication. And he had a VC where he admitted that he knew she said no, knew she was underage drinking, even though it was her birthday, so on and so forth. The details of this incident are covered extremely well with a documentary done by Medium Rare, also known as Rag Reynolds. So the reason I probably won't be going into extreme detail is because that documentary goes over it way better than I ever could. Now, after the uproar of this incident and moment within the community, he has this like transitional period where he goes from YouNow to YouTube. So that's over a couple of months now, give or take the timeline accuracy on that. This moves us to my witnessing of the revenge porn stream that he did involving two women, one of which does not want to be mentioned by name in the situation anymore, so I'm going to respect her with that. But the other one, particularly the one whose photos were the most exposed, her name's Tush. So just so you guys can like mental note that name. Her photos were the most exposed out of the two that were released, basically. Now he backs up, or he defends himself despite the vile behavior, saying, oh, I had blurred it. But that was not the truth. He attempted to blur the photos, but he never fully did. And you could see every detail. So it was about spring leading into summer. I get a call from a friend, the one that didn't want to be mentioned. And she calls me and she's hysterical, rightfully so, because when she goes into detail of what's happening, she had every right to be. CJ was threatening her and Tush heavily with these photos. I called CJ after the phone call ended and tried to talk him out of it. I did what I thought I knew it was best. Just try to get him to come down off of the anger, come down off of like whatever revenge that he was going off of, or whatever the reasoning. I didn't care so much about why he was trying to do what he was doing. I just wanted him to not do it. By the end of that 2-hour call, he said that he wasn't going to do it. So I had put a little bit of faith in him that he wasn't, while I was still processing the fact that he'd even threatened that, right? I called back the friend who had originally called me, and I tried my best to reassure her with what he said. And I really, after being on the phone with her and trying to console her and things like that, that's all I could really do is try to just say, hey, try to relax tonight, put your faith in it that this won't happen, and that, you know, he'll come to his senses and logic will hit his brain at some point. But unfortunately, that did not happen. The revenge porn stream happened, and it all happened that following evening in the early morning hours, like the AMs. I did not see the stream as it was happening live, but I have seen it since over the years when it's been spread around by Tush herself. She has given it to certain people to see the extent of the vile behavior. She has redacted though, so I've never seen like the full thing, but it was very clear that she put her own redactions in there for her own privacy because it was extremely humiliating. So basically, again, in the community, all chaos breaks loose. CJ has done yet another thing that just proves that he is not in sound mind and that he has a hate for, I don't know, just like it seems like women. And, that's how it seems. Because if he uses these type of things to women, really, you can only try to search it back so far. He ghosts everybody after this situation occurred, and he leaves me and the people that he did this to and a bunch of other people in his community in a disarray to fight amongst ourselves. And we did fight amongst ourselves. It was a very stressful time. The following day, a bunch of people have begun to reach out to me. And it was like 3 or 4 people, so maybe not a bunch, but 3 or 4 people with pretty serious stories. So it just felt like a lot, when you're seeing and you're getting all these screenshots and these people are telling you their experiences, that it's very scary when you realize you've been talking to someone who actually does pretty nasty stuff behind the scenes. I decide, with all the naivety in the world, thinking this would be a good idea, to pull up a live stream and give these wonderful ladies a chance to tell their story. But I was really stupid, I'll be real, with doing that because I was not prepared and I was a sitting duck. And CJ took that opportunity and seized the moment. He came up on my panel after ghosting everybody, and he made a fool of himself. He was clearly on drugs. Okay. And he's admitted that he relapsed during this time frame. And so, the stream it went downhill pretty fast. After that, I had decided that it was just not it was a very toxic relationship, like even just being his friend, even just being a supporter of his community. We did a collaboration in the past. There was some awkward texting and stuff like that. So I concluded that it was just toxic. I tried to go my own way and say, hey, CJ, you need to handle your own situation with what you did to these girls. This is not my fight. I don't think it's right. And I just don't want to answer any questions regarding what you did. You need to stop hiding. He took that as a declaration of war, basically. And I was not allowed to go in peace and just continue my YouTube channel or continue what I was doing without him sending people my way or things like that, just harassing, streaming about me, streaming about other people. If you're a woman specifically, because he doesn't do this to men so much as he does women that he fights with online or even just talks to and has a falling out with, he'll stream about you. He'll do segments about you. He'll have people, troll you. He'll try to get you in other panels and he'll try to follow you to, catch you off guard. And he did it to Amber C, the grape, allegation. He did it to Tush, the one who was, and he also did it to the other one that doesn't want to be mentioned, the one who they were the, rape or the revenge porn stream ladies. And so it's a common denominator that he does this to people who dare speak out about their experience or negative things. So I just deal with it. I just dealt with it. I would ignore the comments. I would try to delete them, try to play it cool, act like it wasn't bothering me. Every defense mechanism you could possibly think of, I did. it never worked. My life's moving forward, and I, during this time frame, become pregnant with my son. And it was around 2019, 2020 that I decided I was just going to take a break after my son was born off of YouTube for various multiple reasons. Obviously, wanting to enjoy the time period with my son as a newborn baby and just what that all entails, no sleep, all that fun stuff, precious moments. You don't want to spend, editing videos when you could be spending time, with your newborn. So about a year and a half, well, no, sorry, just under a year, I come back of being away. And almost immediately, I am attacked again. So it brings CJ and myself into like some sort of communication. I'm not sure who reached out to who first, but basically we had come to this conclusion that we were going to end our beef and drama with each other and our negative opinions and just move on. And see, he had declared that he had changed, that he wasn't on drugs anymore, that he had been sober for a while, that he really is sorry about lying about me all the times that he would on the stream, things like that. And some of it was in messages, some of it was in a VC calls thing, so I can't be for sure where he said what he said specifically, but it was nice to hear an apology from him at the time, because of how much he had lied about me and how much he had harassed me. And so that gave me almost like this false sense of hope, like, oh yeah, maybe I could be his friend again after all. The allegations against the grape had been taken back. And although I did view the situation as wrong, he had, in my opinion, talked about it enough in private with all of us he acknowledged his wrongdoings. And so for whatever naive, stupid reason, maybe it was him making him seem like he was a victim in all of it, which is what he does very often, and me believing it and feeling sorry for him, or honestly, just me forgetting all the bad stuff because there had been so much time in between. And not forgetting all of it, but just not remembering every little detail of all the types of bad behavior that he does. And for that, I feel ashamed. So there's that. I feel stupid for ever believing him when he said he changed, believing him when he was putting on the mask of false empathy and understanding. Because at that point, I did go back to his community for 2 years' time. I donated. I streamed with him. I supported him. I shared out his streams. I did everything that, a good community member that really cares about the community does, I would assume, if you can, I was made a moderator about a year ago, or no, a little over a year ago now, because I was a moderator for around a year. And during the time that I was a moderator, I watched many different drama incidents happen within that community. It's basically what it is. He covers drama, so you're going to see that. But what I didn't know before was the inner workings of everything. What happens in what he labels his mod chat, the private talks, and how he really thinks about situations and how he really handles them. Because what I realized was he really does put on an act when he's live. And that mask falls off immediately when the live ends and his real feelings come out. So over the years' time, I'd gotten sick of it. I had basically watched other members in his community that were getting passes dox children, attack children because they don't like another person in the community. It's happened to me. My kids were threatened. I've had my life threatened. He kept bringing back the person that had done this, it was unsafe, very unsafe, because of the fact that he didn't have any real rules like no doxing or no going after people's kids. And if you do that, you're out. So in the summer of 2022, I said, look, I'm just going to take my leave as a moderator. I'm going to go touch some grass. I don't want to be around people who dox kids. And that was not taken very well. And I think it was because he had some sort of pre-notion that I was going to run around and release screenshots of his conversations, but that never happened, right? But he didn't know that at the time. So the night that I left being a moderator and said, bye, he started talking about me and making up lies about me. And a couple of my friends showed me. I confronted him, and he didn't take that well either. Now, the things he was lying about struck me as curious because it was revolving around money initially, the first lie after I left as being a moderator. He had borrowed $250 from me with 3 separate, asking for it incidences, in a 3-week period. So he asked 3 separate times. First was $100. Second was $100. He asked for $100 the third time, but I could only do $50. And it was all off of a loan basis. Basically, what he tried to do and say and lie about was that he never borrowed any money from me, that it was all just a donation. And it kind of put me into a position where I had to kind of prove myself not to be what he was claiming I was, which was the one that owed him money. He tried to switch it all around to where I owing him money. So he used that as an excuse to continue to attack me throughout the rest of the summer and towards the holiday time. This is where it gets really, really dark and really, really sinister on his behalf and his main right-hand moderator's behalf. So the backstory for this is January last year, I went through one of the worst experiences of my life. I was pregnant, and I went into labor. There was complications with the pregnancy. I was only 24 weeks. I stayed in the hospital for a few days, and my daughter was stillborn at 25 weeks. January last year. So I, being the naive, gullible, wear my heart on my sleeve person, in the midst of being emotional and distressed and wanting to just, I don't even know, connect with a friend, I talked with this moderator and I let her know the situation. And she was reassuring to me at the time, and I thought it was a safe space. So I shared photographs of the funeral type photographs that my family had taken of our daughter with her. And, she seemed very understanding. She had gone through life experiences herself. I thought, great. Her experience, made it relatable for her. So we had what I considered at the time, a good woman to woman moment and a friendship moment of just nurturing one another as women. And I think that's okay. I think that's okay. I might be naive still to this day. And maybe, of course, don't share this with people you meet on the internet. That's the lesson I learned in this. But in real life, I think that having moments like that is okay. Well, because of the drama that was kind of bleeding out from me leaving as a mod, his moderator was on full-blown attack, and she went up on a panel with another lady that she has an issue with. She goes by the name I Am Dina. She has a pretty horrific story with CJ as well, but she went on a panel with her and threatened, blackmailed me, with those very photographs, basically word for word saying, I don't want, or sorry, you don't want those people, you don't want people knowing your big secret, do you? You don't want people knowing your big secret because I know your big secret. So that to me was so shocking, right? Now, I let it go because what am I supposed to do? That stream ended. Um, Another person had come on confirming that they were already shared. So she had already shared them. There really wasn't much I could do. But I thought, oh, well, maybe I could reach out to RSN and see if he'll, try to talk to his moderator and be a responsible individual. I know he can't control her actions, but he can sure say something. Well, it did nothing. He ignored it, accused me of lying about the whole thing, despite the proof. And it just got worse from there. Now, I won't go over because it does mention something that happened in someone's side chat that really doesn't deserve any flack for anything, because it's not like he could control the account, but it has been proven that she has distributed the photographs with malicious intent to hurt me because of drama going on with RSN. And it's been spread around to the point where now there are troll accounts with the photo that I have to see, go around. And I don't know if there's more than one, but all I know that as I've seen one, and where there's one, there's going to be many. So I now wake up every day wondering, am I going to see something on Twitter? Am I going to see something in comments? Is someone going to text me, a friend of mine, showing me a screenshot of some more traumatizing stuff? And that brings me here. That brings me to today. I can tell you that I've never witnessed, out of all the things in the community, as much gaslighting as the last couple of months in particular, with the MFW and the lights being shined on. His behavior and how the money situation, all his money issues, his clear aggression towards females, like, for example, Breezy. She covers a stream and she's known to cover the creators that she goes and covers, and he comes in here just so cruel, so cruel. And that's after messaging her and being cruel there. The behavior doesn't stop. It does not stop. He has excuses, and projections and projection. But it all boils down to the same stuff. Money issues, inappropriate photos, inappropriate behaviors, blackmail, intimidation, doxing, real life, that type of stuff. So that's pretty much what I have so far, Breezy. Now, I'm going to go grab a little glass of water really quick. Are you?
I'm here. I just want to thank you for being so brave and sharing that, because I know that must have been so hard. And I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for everything you've had to go through, everything you're still going through. I wish, like I said, I always, I always tell you, I wish I could give you a hug through the screen. I really wish I could. Are you open to answering some questions if anybody has any questions?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want to go grab your water first?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, you guys, I don't know if while Tay's grabbing her water, if you want to start typing your questions in the chat. When she gets back, we can go ahead and ask them. I'll look for your questions right now. Can you guys hear me okay, by the way? I feel like this is the lowest I've ever talked in my life because I'm so naturally loud. Kata said you did great, Tay, in sharing your story. She did really well. She did amazing. Yeah, lots of guts, Joe. I agree. Yeah, get some water and take a few minute rest. Okay. It's so hard to talk this low.
Hi, I'm back.
Okay, so everybody's saying you did great sharing your story. Joe said it took lots of guts. Thanks.
Thank
Heidi
you.
said thank you for trusting us with your story. Yeah, Brandy, I'm so sorry. I'm trying to talk as loud as I can. Joe asked to ask her about Queen of Spade, please.
Oh, okay. Queen of Spades was actually around when I was gone. Uh, Although she does mention me a lot, she and I have never spoken. And what I can say is I do think some similar games were played that CJ plays with a lot of the females in particular in his community that were played with her. I do believe that. I do believe that her emotions were played with. But I also believe that she does her fair share of attacking people. And she has wrongfully attacked me for years and never had the gumption as a woman to come and talk to me.
Ooh. So she has a YouTube channel. I'm gonna have to check her out. Queen of Spades,
Yeah.
just so I can learn. Like I'm just trying to learn more about everything. It's a long thing. Nikki said we're not going to bombard you. Only answer what you're okay with. Yeah, if there's anything you don't want to answer, just you can say that. That's okay. Let's see. My question is, why do you think CJ gets away with everything? Like, there's multiple times like he should have been in trouble. Like, seriously.
Um, so I know for reasons that he didn't get in trouble with the Amber C situation was
Hmm.
because of the fact that she didn't fully press charges, but was sort of, in my opinion, talked and scared out of really doing that from his type of behavior and the way that he was streaming about her.
Hmm.
She did initially file like a report and things like that, but all of that, those details are heavily, 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 heavily gone over in the documentary with Rag Reynolds.
Yeah.
Things and details that would put this all together for a lot of people that I
Okay.
couldn't like really formulate that great in the way that he does.
Hmm. Would you
And
guys
for,
would you guys want to watch that documentary together? Maybe tomorrow night we can. Just so we
I
can
was
just
thinking the exact same thing.
yeah, we should all get together. Probably around the same time tomorrow night, and we could watch the documentary. And that way, Tay too, if you're available, maybe you can answer some questions because you know a lot more than I do by far.
Yeah. And I'll be real, I watched it again
Hmm.
um, yesterday after years of, it's been years since I've watched it. And man, I have to say, the details that you get reminded of and the
Yeah.
behaviors that you get reminded of just shock you all over again. Taylor, regardless of any past mistakes or wrongdoings, no one deserves what you've gone through. I am so sorry for all that you went through. You were truly a strong person. Well, thank you so much, Soul Blossom. That is the sweetest thing. Sweetest thing. And I'm not I've had moments, guys. I've had moments where I've streamed and I've went off too.
Hmm.
What I never have done, what I will never do is cross the lines that some of these people and he has crossed.
Right. Let me see. Oh, Joe is a mod of Queens. Oh, okay. I still don't. I'm still learning who that person is, so I'll have to go and look. Actually, we could watch it right now, you guys. If you wanted to, if we could start it. How long is it?
I would say you could probably commit to the first episode tonight, and I think
Hmm.
that that would be good. But you're going to want commentary because I will warn you.
Okay.
The footage in this, CJ does try to strike down from people's channels, so you're going to want to pause it and have commentary throughout
Okay.
it.
Okay. Even if I just pause and say I'm still here, because you guys, you know me, I start talking and then I talk and I talk and I talk, and then an hour goes by and we still haven't watched anything. So, if you're open to it, Tay, I'll put it on.
Yeah, I'm really open to it. I think it needs to be shown. He tries so hard to I don't even know. He tries so hard to make this creator seem crazy because
Hmm.
of how wonderful all of this evidence is put out and displayed, and you guys will see what I mean.
Okay. All right, I'm looking for it right now, you guys. I think I had it in my watch later. But it seems like when it's this hour, my brain slows down a lot, and it's like I forget how to work YouTube.
You can go to my page and go to my
Okay.
playlist section, and go to the drama-ish one, and
Oh,
it's all linked there.
I think I just found it. It's the rise and fall of RealStream News, right?
Does it say episode
Yeah.
1 or 1 of 3?
1 of 3. Okay.
Yep.
All right, let me start this over. See, where am I? I'm 30 minutes in, and that seems to be where I put it on, like usually right before I fall asleep to watch it. Oops. And I always fall asleep right at the same part. Always. Let me see. I'm not saying it's boring. I'm saying it seems to be that's where I always fall asleep. Let's see.
Oh, no, and I completely understand
This
because there's
video
so
you're
much
about to
evidence.
watch is right after.
I accidentally put on Drader. Sorry, you guys. Let me try this again. Can you see it? Can everybody see it?
That person. No, I was going.
Why is this not? Come on.
My name is Rag Reynolds and welcome back to Medium Rare. This video is a video that has been a long time coming. It is a video that will hopefully be the final chapter in this saga with RealStream News. If you are not aware of who RealStream News is already, then this video is perfect for you, because I'm going to go through his entire YouTube history. I'm going to start at the beginning 2 years ago, and I'm going to work all the way up till now, cover every single scandal. And if you do know all of these things, then this video is also for you, because you're going to get extra information, extra insight. I've spent a lot of time and a lot of effort on this video, and although I may be biased, I completely admit that I am 100% biased against RealStream News, against CJ. But in this video, I have tried my best to show both sides of the argument. The people I have asked questions to in some of these interviews that you're going to see.
It feels like about that time I should talk anyways, because I don't want him to strike this down. So I forgot to share, you guys. This is from the channel Medium Rare. I will share it in the chat.
I can be specific with you on what part you'll need to have commentary on.
Okay.
And it's the part where the You Now stream is played with the in the hotel room with Amber C.
Okay.
Now, I don't think you have too much to worry about, but he does false strike. All you have to do really is appeal it and it'll be back up in 30 days. But I would just say, to keep yourself safe, pause and just say anything. Even just make a noise. I mean, really.
Okay. I will do that. How often do you think I should?
I would say when Rag Reynolds kind of takes a breath.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. Sounds good. All right, you guys, off we go. I'm going to mute myself so we don't have an echo.
To see from me. I've asked some of them some tough questions. I've asked them things from his perspective. I've tried to get a full picture here of why he's doing what he's doing, why certain things have happened, and whether or not he belongs on this platform, whether or not he is or is not a danger to others. So in this video, I'm keeping my opinions out of it for the majority of this video. I will be showing you interviews, I will be showing you clips, I will be showing you evidence about all sorts of different things, and other people will be giving you their opinions. The people I'm interviewing will be stating what they think. But for the most part, I'm not going to sit here and address the camera and tell you this is why he's a horrible person. I'm just going to be telling you this happened. Here's some context around it. And now here's some people speaking about it and their experiences with that situation. I want this video to be an open letter of sorts to both RealStream.
Just to be safe, I'm talking again, but trigger warning now, you guys. I remember, this is hard to watch, so it's okay if you need to skip this live stream. It's okay if you need to click out now. We'll see you tomorrow night. Okay? So it's okay to skip.
News and to the YouTube community in general. And I hope that if a consensus is found that he is a danger to others, or if he is a nuisance on this platform, that something can be done about that. And if not, then let it be. And hopefully this will be my final video on the subject, and that is where it will be laid to rest. It is down to you guys. I will give you all the information you need. I will give you everything in this video. What you do with this video, what you do after this video is out there, that is entirely up to the people watching it, and I will leave that with you all. I have been very involved in this entire process over the last couple of years, and I will not be bringing up any personal beef between myself and RSN. I've made many videos in the past where we've had some petty drama between us, or I've made jokes and run around in costumes dressed up like him and made fun of him. I'm not going to be doing any of that in this video. This is a serious video that is going to be addressing very serious accusations, very serious scandals. And I hope that everyone watching this will at least take the time to listen to what I have to say and what the people I'm interviewing have to say. Because I think it's a story that needs to be told. It's a story that I think needs to get out there more. Bigger YouTubers refuse to cover this because he's too small. It doesn't matter if they think he's a horrible person or not. Bigger YouTubers won't touch it because he's a small channel and it's not going to do them any good. But maybe this video and your response to this video can help change that. And I want to preface this again. Last thing I want to say before we get into this is do not use this video as an excuse to harass anyone, to bully anyone, or anything of the sort. I do not condone anyone going from here to going harass RSN and telling him, oh, you're such a scumbag. I mean, I know people do that already, but do not do it on my behalf. I do not condone anyone doing anything like that on my behalf. And I feel like that's important for me to state here because I don't want this video to come across as me just trying to harass a guy or trying to destroy a man's life or anything like that. This is me genuinely being concerned about the actions of an individual on this platform and those he has affected and perhaps could affect in the future. And it is me wanting to get the full picture out there as unbiased as I possibly can, being a biased party. And I want people to then do with that as they will. So without further ado, I present to you the complete, unabridged RealStream news story.
I remember I get the same feeling every time I start this documentary. I get a knot in my stomach when he's talking. Like, you can tell how serious this topic is to this person. I've never seen any of their other videos, but you could just tell how serious, how much this bothers them. And I know I'm not a big YouTuber. I know I don't have like a huge platform, but hopefully this video will be seen by somebody and they'll be warned about him. I mean, just through my experience, which wasn't even that bad, I learned he's pushy and he doesn't like the word no.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
And, another thing is it's like when you're harassed by someone or you're lied on or you're, made out to be something, this is good for people to see this behavior and be reminded that this is who he is. And although he says he's changed, his actions don't say that.
Right. Exactly. All right, you guys. Click out now if you need to.
RSN is a liar, a cheater, and rapist.
RealStream News is a horrible person.
My experience with CJ has been positive.
He's capable of being a good person.
I'm trying to do good.
Something traumatic has just happened to you.
I said no twice.
The fact that she never gave consent.
No means no, you creep.
Someone did tell me that they weren't going to call the police on him.
They said that I was going to kill my grandmother.
And like he sent the pictures of my tits.
It wasn't like how some people try to make it out to be.
At a minimum, it's highly inappropriate.
If anybody acts like I'm in the wrong, I'm going to release every single DM there is.
He will pick on vulnerable women.
Thank you for disliking these streams over and over and over again.
RealStream News started out as a guy behind a mask. He was a guy who uploaded streams to his YouTube channel, but these weren't his streams. They were streams from other YouTubers who would go on the likes of YouNow and they would talk on YouNow, and then later on, RealStream News, he would take down their stream from YouNow, he would copy it, and he would upload it to his YouTube channel in case anyone had missed anything. He would edit it down and post the juicy clips. Now, this was very similar to another channel quite popular in the same sort of community called The Blarg. The Blarg had pretty much no competition back at the time until RealStream News popped up. There was a little rivalry that kind of sparked between the two of them when RSN appeared, with RSN being very adamant that he was better than the Blarg. He was nothing like the Blarg. He was faster than the Blarg. He was more reliable than the Blarg. The Blarg didn't take too kindly to RSN and even accused him of stealing some of their content, as did some other people. It was seemingly found that RealStream News had been going onto other people's YouTube channels, downloading the streams and the clips that they had edited and uploaded, and then he was posting them on his channel as his own. A lot of people didn't have any issue with this, as they were never streams that belonged to RealStream News, the Blarg, or any of these people uploading them in the first place. They were just recording them and then uploading edited clips of them. But a lot of people still had a big issue with it and called him a content thief because he was essentially going and taking someone else's hard work. It's not always straightforward and super easy to record a stream or always be reliable to catch a stream on YouNow and then edit it and upload it. It does take time, it does take effort. So some people were understandably annoyed. Eventually, RSN's channel started to change a little, and he started uploading his own streaming content. He started streaming when he was at home. He started streaming in the streets. He done a lot of what is known as IRL streaming. And a lot of people tuned in, and those people were mainly people who were interested in the other streams that he was re-uploading. He had already built himself a few thousand people who watched those streams that he kept re-uploading. So when it came to posting his own streams out there, he already had a little bit of a base audience. And from there, RealStream News eventually transitioned away entirely from uploading other people's streams, and he is now what he is today. And what he does now is he does more sort of commentary and reaction style live streams and videos. In mid-March of 2018 is when RealStream News had his first little scandal. Yes, he had previously been accused of stealing a stream here or there, but overall, no one had.
Just to be clear, so I know, wasn't his platform much larger before? Like, how big of a platform did he have? How many subscribers would you say he had before?
So CJ actually lost a channel. He had, I can't exactly remember why his channel was taken down, the first one, but he did have quite a bit of subscribers because of his like clip channel style.
Okay. Okay. Oh, Inferno, I like ice chips too. After all my surgeries, sorry, really fast, I'll talk for just a second. After all my surgeries, they always gave me ice chips. So, like, I crave ice chips sometimes. That actually sounds really good right now. All right.
Really batted much of an eye at him. But this is when RealStream News started to talk about Sam. Now, if you don't know who Sam is, Sam was an ex-friend of Onision's. Now, there had been a lot of drama surrounding Sam and Onision and all of that stuff around that time. And when RealStream News started to talk about Sam, he seemingly started to make up some rumors about her. RealStream News was starting to tell people and assume that Sam was back at Onision's house, even though she wasn't there anymore. And when confronted on this by Sam, RealStream News tried to defend himself by saying that she had never said that she wasn't back at Onision's house. It also came out in a series of leaked direct messages between RealStream News and Sam that RealStream News had been acting very unprofessional and pushy towards her. He wanted Sam to supply her with some clips from one of her Twitch streams where she had been speaking about some Onision drama. When Sam did not provide the stream or those clips right away, RealStream News got very pushy and annoyed with her. Sam tried to defend herself by saying it's not her job to supply him with streams. She doesn't have to give him anything, especially not edited.
Oh my gosh, you guys. It's just making me think of the DMs and how pushy he was, and me like saying no, or I didn't really want to. Like, he didn't take no for an answer, and he bugs you and bugs you and bugs you like a fly that won't go away until he gets the answer he wants. It's wild to me. Like, you can't deny how this person is. I just hope more people see this and more people are warned about him. Do you have anything that you want to say, Faith?
I can actually corroborate quite an awkward experience I had when I first began speaking on a DM level with CJ.
Mm-hmm.
So that moved outside of his YouNow chats or YouTube side chats. I had reached out to him and asked him to do a collaboration on a series that I had on my channel. And basically, he was very flirtatious, very awkward and pushy about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it made me feel awkward in the very beginning. The second I mentioned that to anybody when, I had seen with other girls that he had the same situation, he lost his mind.
Oh, wow. Wow. He has anger issues.
That takes time and effort. And RealStream News' response to all of this was that Sam just didn't understand what he was saying and that she was being stupid because he could make her a star. He could help out her Twitch and get her more viewers. And unfortunately, this unprofessional and strange and pushy behavior that we could see exhibited in these Sam DMs turned out to not be the only examples that we saw of RealStream News acting this way towards other women. Screenshots of direct messages with several other women started to materialize and float around. Even some of his old tweets that began to surface started to paint a picture of the kind of guy RealStream News was and how creepy and desperate he was seemingly acting towards women online. As all of these scandals were coming to light, I decided to insert myself and essentially lead the charge against RealStream News. I made a couple of videos about him, and that is when the blarg put me in touch with someone very key to the future of the RealStream News saga. The person I was put in touch with was a woman named CJ, who had claimed to be an ex-associate of RealStream News. She had a lot to say and she made many, many claims about him. She claimed that they had been like close friends for a time, and that he had confided in her with a lot of information. She made claims such as RSN was a drug addict, that he was a deadbeat dad, and that he had been so pushy with her that he had tried to get her to leave her husband and fly out to him to be Mrs. RSN. She even claimed that CJ only started going by CJ because her name was CJ, and he was trying to be more relatable to her. Eventually, I ended up conducting an interview with this woman, and now I'm going to...
Oh my gosh. Something just hit me. Is it the CJ that's... There's a CJ that was just in this community. Is it the same CJ?
Wait, so, that might be. It could be. But I'd have to see the account and let me search back. I'm not sure because I haven't even seen that individual in so long. I mean, it's been so long.
Well, I don't want to say what name they're going on here in case it's not them, but I just realized there's a CJ that just had some stuff going on in the community and I didn't know if that was the same one. But that's weird. So he stole that person's name. He wasn't even going by CJ before? Is that what I got from that?
Yeah, basically he I think he just liked the sound of it, really.
Yeah. Lightbeing, I'm sorry, like I got these headphones, so it's probably that and a mixture of I'm talking really, really low, because I had trouble getting my baby to sleep tonight, so I'm just talking low so I won't wake her up. And she's not a baby, she's 10, but I just don't want her to wake up and I talk really, really loud. So I'm really sorry. All right. Oh, it is Nikki? Oh, wow. Okay. It just dawned on me who they might be talking about.
To play you some of the key points of that interview. Okay, and so when was it that he contacted you for the first time, and why did he contact you, or were you the one who contacted him first? How did that work out?
He was on live stream. He was wearing a hospital mask. It was like a Dollar Tree hospital mask, and he like cut a hole in it because he didn't want anybody to know his identity. And he was vaping through it. Like I commented on there, I was like, "Look, like that's ghetto." Like they have masks because like people in Japan like air pollution and stuff. I said maybe you should, you know, think about upgrading into that because, you know, it'll look less ghetto. And he was like, da da da, do you sell them? And I'm like, no, I don't sell them, but if you buy one, my husband and I own a business to where we can personalize it for you. We moved from emailing my business email, his business email, or whatever you want to call it. And then he told me to add him on the Facebook Messenger. I didn't mind. I was like, yeah, like maybe he needs to see that I'm legit, you know, like needs to see some of my stuff that I've done. Like that's fine. And then around my birthday, which is the beginning of March, I was on there and like, he had made comments before, like right when I first added him, it's like when the creepy comments started. He was like, oh my gosh, like you're gorgeous, da da da, like if you weren't married, like I'd totally be hitting on you. And I was like, please don't.
Oh my
like
gosh.
I think I said my husband and I's stuff is linked or something, but you know, when you're married, like I have my Facebook logged in on a gaming computer, like it's completely open.
I'm not judging because I know everybody's situations are different, but I'm wondering why he's being so messy and effing with a married woman. I'm just curious.
Especially one that like, well, because like he does this a lot. He'll go after married women. I've seen him do it more than once. I mean, I'm married, and like, don't get me wrong, I don't want to like, you know, kind of muddy the stream with the details of how my relationship works. But even when it wasn't like we were trying this phase of being in an open relationship, he was still being very, very weird to me, despite the fact that I was married. Now, it was a phase, and that phase has since ended, but, you know, still, he is very weird towards married women.
I was going to say that. And yeah, like I said, everybody's situation is different. So I'm not judging that because many people have open relationships. I just am wondering, he's so messy. It's dawning on me how messy this guy is. Wow.
You know, like that's how a marriage works. And like I told him, like, look, I don't want you to like ruin this business opportunity. And that was like way before he had even gotten the masks. Around my birthday, he was like, you're on Facebook a lot. And I'm like, yeah, like I do business over Facebook. Like that's what I do. Like that's how people contact me. And then he was like, well, I just think that there's something wrong. I'm like, excuse me? Like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, I just don't think that you're happy in your marriage. I said, like, excuse me? And he was like, yeah, like, there's something wrong with you being on Facebook this much. After the whole thing was done with that, like, I didn't see, like I knew like that it was creepy that he was coming to me like about my relationship and all that, but like I didn't like see like no harm in it, like if he wasn't like approaching me or anything like that. And then he was like something like this is becoming too much for me, like I'm a one-man scene, you should be Miss RS. And I can't say that he
Miss
said it because I may have told him to get a Miss RS, and you know what I mean, because it's just it'd be like mass babe and mass man, you know what I mean, like it's just cute, like people would die for relationships, especially kids. And then he was like, how about you fly out here? And I'm like, huh? And he's like, yeah, like how about you fly out here? And I'm like what? But then he's like, yeah, like you can fly out here and you'll be behind a mask, like nobody will know, da 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 da. And I feel like it was like a manipulation tactic. He was covering his face on YouTube because he is about to, I want to say, stand trial, or he is going through the courts for a possession with intent to distribute heroin.
Could you tell the little story about he had changed his name on Facebook because his name was it was CS and then it
He was hiding his face because he was on trial for something? Is that what I'm understanding, you guys? Steve, yeah, I'm leaving this up.
I also think that he hid his face because this is what he has said.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want people to know his identity because of the type of trolling and behavior that he has done. He admits to just nasty behavior, and like being masked or hidden on the internet is like the playground for the type of trolling that he's used to. It's very like out local, like I don't even know how to describe his type of trolling. The Kiwi Farms type of trolling.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Okay. All right. So I guess this is where we find out what his name was before it was CJ. Well, I mean, you know what I mean. Before he knew it was CJ.
It became CJ around the time he started talking to you.
Yeah, he had to change it from CS, and then he changed them to CJ because he didn't want anybody to dig up, anything that they could Google about him. And he was like, what do I name myself or whatever? And I'm like, well, I don't know. And then, my initials, and he just took CJ.
Evidence to back up many of these claims made by CJ against RSN eventually came to be. I am not going to be talking about the situation regarding RealStream News and his child, because frankly, that's none of any of our businesses, and I would rather stay entirely clear of that. But the rest of the information and evidence that came out, I thought was very important to share, and I still think to this day that it's very important to share, because I think it helps paint a picture of the type of guy he was and perhaps still is, and why he thinks and acts in certain ways. Some posts from an old Reddit account belonging to RSN began to surface, and these posts confirmed that RealStream News was into doing many different drugs, including heroin. Some other posts also confirmed that he even once robbed a drug dealer, and that for a long stretch of time he would repeatedly cheat on his ex-girlfriend. But those old Reddit posts weren't exactly necessary for people to see that something wasn't exactly quite right with RSN, especially after he had been unmasked. Not only was he super aggressive with clear anger issues,
Why do you even want to leak it, you idiot? Why?
There were also times where he'd just doze off on streams.
So yeah, that should be really fun.
Damn.
He admits that when he does this type of behavior, he is on one of the various different drugs that he uses.
And as per CJ's claims, he was up at all hours and would always be up very early in the morning so that he could go and get his methadone from the clinic. As time went on, RSN started to fancy himself as a reputable news source. So I decided to try and test that out.
Okay.
I offered up a false sexual harassment story against myself using fake accounts and also the help of a couple of friends. Some of these stories...
How many times did he call me an idiot the other night? Yeah, I noticed that's his favorite word. And he does rage. The way he was yelling at you when you were on MFW's panel, Tay, the way he was raging at you was scary. The way he yells, the way he talks to people.
Yeah, like he doesn't come up to try to communicate with you like a regular person. He comes up, accusing you or lying about you or just strange things. I mean, okay, so like there's one thing that he keeps saying that he has like this clip of me, correct? And in this clip, it's one tiny little clip, 2 minutes and 40 seconds, two different parts of the clip of a 2.5 hour clip. He claims that this is something big. The lies are weird. They're weird. They're reaching, and he does attack you. Like, it's nuts.
Right. Let me see. If it's not idiot, then it's they're crazy if they don't go with what he wants. I noticed that too. Now he's calling me crazy. When he started everything, he's such a he's like, I don't know. He needs help.
Stories were so ridiculous and insane that no one in their right mind would ever even consider them to be legit. One of these stories alleged that I was one day at a meat-eating convention and I slapped a girl on the ass and called her my habibi. The ages and dates in these stories were all entirely wrong as well. Yet RSN ate up every single detail of every story. Immediately, he made a new video and some Twitter posts and emailed me trying to blackmail me into not talking about him anymore.
But they wanted my help to get this story out, so, I'm using my platform to do that.
He didn't check out any of the accounts who were sending him stories, and he didn't even think about the information for even a second. He didn't even take the time to confirm how old I was and compare that to the ages given in those stories. Fast forward a little bit and we get to the first big scandal of his YouTube career, and perhaps what was the worst scandal of them all. Now, this is a scandal that to this day has been very controversial, and even some of the staunchest anti-RSN people still are split on this story. Some believe it and some don't. So what happened? Well, this is the Amber situation.
So we're just on stream to pretty much just clarify what
Okay, is there anything you think you want to tell us before we go into this clip?
Yes. This should be a trigger warning for anybody out here who has ever experienced and or gone through an SA. And if your certain triggers are watching like facial or hearing certain words, maybe the word RAP, is going to trigger you, I would say now is a time to either mute and stay in the side chat to hang out with your friends and be here, or, take your triggers and what you do with them into consideration.
Well said. Thank you for warning us. Thank you for that. All right, you guys, click out now if you need to. We're going to press play.
what's going on. All right. So yeah.
I want to.
So Amber came down the first night. All right, and yeah, like I guess there was some drinking. All right, and then afterwards, we cut the stream after like 4 hours or whatever, and I was just like, hey, like, I didn't know we are gonna have separate beds, whatever, and then like I guess, like I don't know, whatever. I said whatever, and then yeah, she said to come over to her bed, so. And then like she could do it to cuddle or whatever, and so we decided to cuddle, and yeah, she said I guess she didn't want to hook up with I guess at first or whatever, and then whatever we ended up hooking up, and I guess she's upset about it. And
I said no,
and then during it,
and I said no twice, and then I was like laying there, and I was like, whatever, just do whatever you want to.
Like I didn't think I was being aggressive with Amber. I didn't think I was being aggressive. I was just, like cuddling with her like, people do when they cuddle. And then we had sex. And
she didn't want to cuddle with you.
Yeah,
do you see her? She's humiliated. She doesn't even look like she wants to be next to you. How could you call it cuddling? She said no twice. It sounds like you bothered her until she felt like she didn't have any other option. My heart hurts for her so bad, you guys. Like, it's heartbreaking watching her. I just want to hug her through the screen. Like, you could tell. It's...
Right? And like, even though she has recanted the word, and I'm using the grape. I'm using grape as the word that replaces it. When she recanted that word, it doesn't take away the trauma of the situation and the coercion, the pushiness. She makes it clear. You'll see that she was not into him, and that she also wasn't into men at the time. Now, I don't know her situation now, but that's wrong. And when you are almost 30 years old as a grown man, okay, and you have an individual who is underage, regardless of if their birthday is this weekend or that weekend, you have a legal obligation to not give anybody alcohol or not be the one. You're in charge of that situation. You can be legally held accountable if like you get caught.
And my head goes to, if she's underage, she's not normally drinking and all that stuff. Like, was she in the right frame of mind to even consent in the first place? Like,
absolutely not.
Right. So he knows what he did was wrong. It looks like he's trying to save his ass. It looks like he's trying to make her feel guilty like she did something wrong. It's heartbreaking, you guys. I hope and pray she's doing so much better now. And sorry, I don't know what to say. It's sad.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay, she said she doesn't. She said she doesn't remember this, but I asked her where she wanted me to come, and she said inside her, and then, so that I thought this was like, I didn't think this was an issue, and that's it. I know there's a lot of speculation on what happened or whatever, and then I got upset that she talked to the blog and rag and
Mass, which
and Mass Babe and shit, and
they're nice,
but obviously they're I don't know. It was a miscommunication. I thought Amber came out here to want to hang out and that. I thought she liked me. You know what I mean? I thought she liked me.
He
He
messaged me multiple times before I took a plane out here that he really was attracted to me, and I didn't reply to them because I didn't want to tell him I didn't like him and not be able to come out here and work with him. And it's being published because he's making us publish it.
Well, I'm not.
You said we were.
Well, I'm not making you publish it.
No,
Come
well,
on.
you want to put it.
I'm just saying, I have to say it to the people eventually. You know what I mean? And you said let's do it
Just
together,
for
right?
clarification,
Yeah.
did he make her do it? Just for clarification.
To be honest, that part has always been muddied for me because he says one thing, she says one thing, and they go back and forth. Yeah. So that for me, but she looks uncomfortable, and that says it all. So that speaks more on the side that she is being forced. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I hope you're doing so much better, Amber. I hope you're healing and doing amazing.
So it's not I'm not. Please let me. So, yeah, I know. It's just.
And now he's leaving.
I'm not leaving. It's just you don't want me to be here, right? So,
What I really wanted to see is if you send this to a body analysis expert and what they would say.
There's somebody on Twitter who is a body analysis expert. I wonder if I could DM them and see if they'd be willing to watch this and give me their point of view. I have to find them, but I know I've seen them a bunch of times.
That'd be great. I'd love to.
I'll look for them. I'll look for them tomorrow because after this, I'm going to go to sleep. But yeah, I'll definitely look for them tomorrow and I'll get in touch with them.
It wasn't I didn't think you were completely, you weren't completely
I told you I wasn't into guys.
You said to me that you were more into girls. That's what you said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Man, this is turning into a rape thing real fast.
In April of 2018, RealStream News flew a girl named
Rape thing? Really, CJ?
And Amber Clements out to stay with him.
Sorry, what were you going to say?
And just the other night, guys, on MFWs, this is what he was condescendingly, I don't even know if that's a word, in a condescending way, laughing about. When I said, you'd gone through this in this experience and you're telling me whatever, he's laughing about it.
Right. Whew.
For a few days. They stayed in a hotel room together and they had separate beds. Amber was a girl that he had met online through some Onision drama. Over the days that Amber was visiting with RSN continued to do his usual live streams. He was streaming non-stop pretty much every day. Meanwhile, Amber was off in the background somewhere of all of these streams. At this time, RSN was almost 30 and Amber was 20 years old. On one of the live streams while she was there, Amber was shown drinking some shots of alcohol. How much she actually drank that day and how drunk she was is still very much a subject of debate. Now, a couple of days later, RSN and Amber got on a YouTube live stream together to talk about the night that Amber had been drinking and what had happened.
Man, this is turning into a rape thing real fast. It is, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't know. Is it?
Oh. Are you saying that or no?
No, but everyone else thinks so. My mom thinks so.
I didn't say nothing about it.
You think it was rape? Oh no, they can't hear you anyway. Yeah, everyone said.
She said she was like into girls, and what you said to me.
Hey, yeah, to everybody coming in, trigger warning. We're watching a documentary on CJ from RealStream News and what he put women through, and it's hard to watch. So, especially this clip, I don't think I ever get past this clip, to be honest. So it'll be a first for me watching the rest of this with you guys. But this is really extremely, even it's hard for me. It's really hard for me. So I can imagine what you guys are going through. Let's just be kind and be there for each other. And if this is too much, like I said, please click out and we'll see you on the next live stream, okay? All right, I'm going to hit play. Is there anything that we should know right now or?
This part does end not very far from here, so that we'll go to basically a VC recording of him talking about it. So you won't be seeing the visual like this anymore. So there is that to be relieved from, and that this situation is sad. The trauma should not have been on a live stream.
Not at all.
It should have never happened.
Yeah, it should have never happened. Kata said it was after her mom passed away she recanted. Oh, wow. Oh my gosh.
To me was you were into girls.
I never said I liked you. Yes.
Are you saying that?
I never liked you.
All right. Afterwards, you said that you could threaten that, right? And didn't we have this conversation? You said that didn't happen like that, right? That I didn't rape you, right?
No, but it feels like.
But you did say that to me, right? Be honest, please. Please be honest. This is my fucking life here. Please, this is my life. Please be honest. I was rubbing your thigh, and you said after you said.
And I said no.
You said no twice, and then
yes,
and then you said yes, right?
And
then you said yes, right? I didn't force myself, right? You said yes, right?
I said whatever. I've been raped twice.
I don't.
I told you that before you got in bed with me.
You said afterwards. You said that afterwards. I didn't know that. I didn't know.
Yes.
I didn't know. I didn't know that happened to you.
Yes, I told you.
I would never do that to you. I didn't know that.
I think you need to come home now.
I can't come home now. There's no.
I'll get you a ticket. It's fine. I'll make sure it's paid for. All right.
I feel like an asshole.
We just wanted to come on stream to make sure this was straightened out on both ends, so you guys know what's going on. Okay.
I didn't really want to, but yeah.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Now, obviously, that clip it's horrible and it's very upsetting. After this live stream, RSN left the hotel and he was picked up in a car by his grandmother. People said he was running from the cops, and it was very strange because although he had left and this had all gone down, he was live streaming in the back of his grandmother's car.
Yes, he ran away. He literally. Oh God, I'm just still even.
His poor grandmother has to pick him up at hotels.
Well, honestly, that was one of the most horrific moments, and his grandmother. I can't even imagine what she must have been thinking.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So he just puts everybody through hell. He doesn't care. That's the vibe I'm.
Say it on camera. Don't say anything like that. Okay. No, I'm not worrying about being exposed. I'm worried about fucking going to jail. You fucking idiot. That's what I'm worried about. You know, what she said to me was like, oh, it could be worse. So I recorded that immediately when she said that, because I have a recorder, because I record this shit. You know, I record it, stuff like that. So I recorded it. And then I was like, you're not going to tell anybody that I raped you, right? And she's like, well, no. But like, it was like a regular account, or sometimes like some people say no. And I never forced myself on her. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to manipulate. I just want you guys to understand what happened. That's it.
It later came out that RSN had a criminal history and that he had a lot of unpaid fines. Amber had help from some friends online, along with the police, to stay in a hotel for a couple of nights, to get some food, and then to get herself home. Obviously, this is a sensitive subject, but Is it true that this was not your first time where you were a victim of an alleged sex crime?
Yes, it's true. When I was 4, my father molested me, and he pled guilty and went to jail for a while. The second time, I lost my virginity at 15 to a local celebrity, which was consensual, but under the our state law, it wasn't, and my mom got involved in that. And then CJ, but that's it. I have issues with saying no. I have issues with a lot of things from my past, but yeah.
We're going to move to the actual CJ incident now. So if anything's uncomfortable or whatever, then just let me know. But I'm just going to ask you what the questions are. So what were your intentions when you flew out to stay with CJ? Like, was it to stream? Like, I think I heard before that the intention was you were going to go out there, you were going to do some streams with him, you were maybe going to start your own
I
channel,
never
that type of thing.
wanted to be like a drama or a vlog channel. Like I used to have a YouTube for like covers, like to sing, but I don't even really use YouTube. The main reason I wanted to go out to fly to CJ is because I wanted to change his views on Greg Onision, because he was such a big hater.
Okay. Why is Onision always at like the center of some messed up crap? Like, jeez. I don't. Yeah, I'm like, he's always somehow in the mix of like some messed up stuff all the time. The Adorkable said, okay, this is trigger warning. People in our RealStream News chat was saying that Amber was lying about being raped before because they didn't consider statutory rape to be rape. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Yeah, gross. It's so wrong. And my heart hurts for Amber. Like, she hasn't really had anybody, it seems like, protect her, and she's been let down so many times. And I get why she would have problems standing up for herself and saying no clearly, but it sounds like she did everything she could and he just didn't listen. That's just what I'm getting from this.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Let's hit play.
And he knew why I was coming out there. Well, I thought he did. And so that was the main reason. And the second reason was just to get out of the state for a while.
So it was for a few reasons. So you wanted to get out of there because just for a little bit of a break, like a vacation type thing, and you also you were trying to convince CJ that maybe he was wrong about some stuff to do with Onision. His whole thing about you wanted to fly out to be a star, that's all not true, yeah?
I have other things that I want to pursue. I don't, what could I have got from that, like him anyway? Like nothing, really.
Yeah, he was a tiny little channel, but for some reason he thinks that he's a big
That
platform.
was not my intention to go out there to like try to get famous off of like that person. No, I was going out there to try to change his views that he saw upon another person.
Okay, so just the last thing I want to mention here is his defense to this would be when you were there, you did a little stream with me, you were talking to the blog, that sort of thing. So what would you say to that?
I just wanted to meet more people and talk.
Now we're going to move on to the day that the incident actually took place. So on that day, you were 20 years old. I think he was 29.
I'm not sure about his age,
29.
but I was 20.
So he bought alcohol, and you were drinking a bit, and we saw you drink on stream. People were pointing out, why is he giving this girl who's underage? He's giving her alcohol, so that's a crime immediately. But there's been a lot of speculation and a lot of arguing about how much you actually drank and whether or not you were tipsy, if you were drunk or anything like that. So could you just clarify whatever you remember from how much you drank and the effect?
Yeah, I drank three. I can't talk. I drank 3 mini bottles, and
bottles of what?
With that, I was also maybe two
Okay.
things of vodka and then something else. And then also on top of that, I was super sleepy after getting there. So like after the flight and everything, it was like, so both of those things together is just
Well,
horrible.
yeah, because even if you're not drunk, I think a lot of the time when you do drink, it can certainly make you feel tired. I mean, and there's some days it affects you more than others. Like for me, I drink wine a lot, and sometimes I can drink 2 bottles of wine and I feel completely fine. Other times I drink half a glass and I'm falling asleep.
I just think that she wasn't in the right frame of mind to give consent, in my opinion.
Yes.
Katie said, it should be said that Amber was facing her own legal issues in California when she recanted. In my opinion, CJ took advantage of Amber's mental state at the time. Opinion of my own.
And I can say something, being his moderator for the last year, he gets her up on panel ever so often, and he'll like get her up and troll her and make her talk about the situation again, and he'll like exploit her ever so often to this day, like last year 3 times at least, I think.
Oh my gosh. So he hasn't stopped with her, like she's still somehow being punished by him.
In a way, but they also like they do communicate to this day, and it's very sick communication. Like,
oh no.
But it is a very, she does have mental illness, and I'm not judging mental illness. I suffer from my anxiety and ADHD and things like that. So,
But it just shows how sick he is. Like, all of this happened and he's still trying to keep in contact with her. Like, it just shows
yes.
like he has to be in control always.
And us moderators, we were like, okay, can you please just, stop exploiting it? Like, don't bring her up on panel. Just let the situation go. It's weird.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
So sometimes it can vary on how much you've eaten that day, if you were already tired. I mean, lots of different things can affect it. So there are people who have been arguing, oh, she did 1 shot, because you did a shot as well, didn't you?
Well, it was 3 mini bottles, so that's
okay, so just 3 mini bottles. Okay.
like, maybe that's like 2 shots in a
Yeah,
bottle,
yeah.
correct? Or is it
I
a
don't
half
know
a
exactly,
shot
but
and a half?
something like that. So people sometimes can react in all sort of ways to what they're drinking, and some people were trying to say, oh, she only drank this amount. She couldn't have been drunk, for example.
On top of the shots, I was also super tired,
Yeah.
so
So
I just wanted to go to bed that night, but he wanted
Yeah.
to stream, and I was
Well,
just tired.
did you find it
after that.
strange that the whole time you were there, he was just streaming the whole time? It was quite strange. It was as if you didn't have any privacy. It was the whole time he's awake, he's streaming, and you're kind of off to the side. You can hear you talking, but you can't see you half the time. You're in this little room stuck together, and he's streaming to the world the whole time. You have no
Yeah.
privacy. What if you want to take a nap? What if you want to go to the bathroom? I mean, it's a bit strange.
I mean, I think I did go to the bathroom at one point when he was streaming, but other than that, I mostly had my privacy when he left every morning to go to his clinic because
Yeah.
he did drug. Yeah.
Next, for the same day, the whole drinking thing later on that day, do you believe that CJ purposely took advantage of you, or do you think he was completely oblivious and that he thought what he was doing was okay?
Both. Honestly, I wanted to go to bed and I told him this, and he kept pushing to cuddle. He kept pushing it and he kept asking it. And I finally was like, okay, whatever, just fucking cuddle. And then he started rubbing me, and he was like asking me questions, and I was like, I said no twice, as he stated, I've said no twice. And then I was like, whatever, just do whatever. I might have been buzzed, and I was asleep, like so freaking tired. So I just laid there and just yeah.
Yeah, and so do you think that, like what we were just speaking about earlier, and you were saying that you sometimes have issues with saying no and stuff, and that was to do with your past. So do you think maybe that your issues with saying no is maybe also part of what made you eventually give in, so to speak, because of maybe trauma you've experienced in the past?
Yeah. Even to this day, I have issues saying no to like a lot of things, not just this situation, but just like I just hate saying no to people.
Yeah.
So yeah, drama from my past, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, well, that does explain quite a lot of it, I would think. So after things went down, did he just kind of like shoot out of there? Like, obviously you got on stream together and you did that stream.
He made me go on stream that to clear things up. He wanted to go on and do that.
I want to ask about after that. So after that, he was like, people were saying he was on the run from the cops. So like when that stream ended, what happened? Did he just like leave immediately, or did you guys talk for a little bit and then he left, or like what happened when that stream ended?
We were talking, and while we were talking, he was recording everything without me knowing. And I called my mom and I was talking to her about it, and she told me I should call the cops. Once I left the motel room and got the cops came and he was completely gone. He was screaming his runaway with his grandma. Yeah.
Okay, so she did call the cops? She did call the cops, you guys? Let me see. I'll wait to see if you guys know. Wow. She was trying to work through what happened, probably trying to process everything.
Yeah.
So the cops did come, Tay?
What was that?
I thought that I heard her say that her mom said to call the cops, so she called the police, but when they came, he had already left?
Yeah, at that point, he was kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, like on the run.
Oh my gosh, that explains why. So is he going live from his grandma's car when he's in during that clip where he's live and he looks upset?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. See, he knew he messed up and did something wrong, or else he wouldn't have ran.
Which is
I've always found that so amusing.
Oh, sorry.
He leaves, he jumps in the back of the car, and he's on the.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, that was kind of like all I had to add to that.
Oh, okay. I thought you said something and I cut you off. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
Immediately having the conversation with his grandma, like, what is going on in this guy's head? It's insanity.
It's another stupid thing.
It's like a movie.
Done.
After everything went down, obviously he released some certain tapes of youth. I mean, one of them was the tape with your mother, and you were saying it's not rape.
I'm gonna get you home. Don't worry about
No,
that.
I mean, if I called the cops, he would have been arrested for other stuff.
You'll have to go to the police department and you'd have to have a rape test. And
Why?
for his DNA.
No, if I call the cops, there's nothing else to say.
What do you mean?
It would be considered rape, and it's not.
Wait a minute, what?
If I called the cops, I'd have to say he raped me.
Right.
It's not rape.
You have to remember,
he was there. I was
yes,
scared.
he was.
What could
He
have
was
done?
right there. Yeah, you're not going to sit there and say, yes, this guy raped me when you're
He's
sitting in the same room as him.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but the other thing I wanted to ask you about was there was another tape of that he released, and it was, I guess there wasn't too much context around it, but he released this tape, and it was you essentially saying that if he pissed you off, you would tell people that he had raped you.
Why would you think of telling people that I raped you or something? Why would you think of that?
I didn't. You said it.
You said.
I didn't say anything about rape, bro.
Then what are you saying?
Nothing. Literally. I'm pissed off about what just happened. On fucking LOL.
That's not important. Who cares? Who cares?
Yeah. Not really, but.
So you wouldn't do that?
No.
You're not gonna tell people that?
No. Not unless you piss me off really fucking bad.
Why would you do that though?
I don't know.
So
I
he
mean,
brings this up all the time. So I just wanted to ask you what your side of events there is.
that was after he did that to me.
Mhm.
So, I mean, it's true. If he pissed me off, I would tell people he raped me because he did, technically.
Yeah.
I mean,
See, he thinks that you saying that was you threatening to lie and say that you had
it
raped him.
wasn't a lie though, because
Yeah,
he said, I said no twice. That should have been
Yeah.
enough evidence.
Yeah, my thing when I spoke to him, and I know a lot of people as well,
She said no twice, and she shouldn't have even had to say it a second time. The first time should have been no.
Exactly. Like, I've always thought back to that moment. It's just like, I don't know. As any individual, it should be an immediate turnoff. And, I have to clarify something here.
Okay.
CJ makes sure that it's very clear that he was not drinking that night. He was not drinking. So there's no excuse, regardless of whether or not there's alcohol, but you don't even have that excuse of being drunk to say, oh, I didn't hear her, or, oh, whatever. Regardless, it's wrong. He wasn't even drinking. He literally watched her as the adult drink alcohol and pretty much pushed her to let him do what he was going to do.
And that's sad because as the adult, he should have been making sure, she was okay and not providing her alcohol and doing any of that or pressuring her. And there should have been, there should have never had to be a second time where she said no. One time saying no should have been enough. He needs to learn no means no. And I don't know when he will get that through his head, but I don't know why he has a platform where he can still do this to other people. It doesn't make sense to me. Irate Danny said she was messed up and he was sober. Yeah, she wasn't in the right frame of mind. And as the adult, he shouldn't have done that. And he knows that. He knows that. Even in the DMs, he kept telling me, what everybody else is going to tell you about me isn't true. What everybody else is saying about me, it's not true. It's not true. And then he was mad in the chat saying that, I didn't do my research, so how could I judge? Well, I'm watching now and I'm judging, CJ, just to let you know. Hey, Carrie, by the way. All right, I'm going to press play.
We all thought that it wasn't that you were saying, oh, I'm going to lie and tell everyone that you raped me. It was more you saying, you did rape me, and if you don't, and if you do piss me off, then I will tell everyone what you did do. So there was a couple of ways that people did interpret that. So a lot of people fell on one of those two sides. So that's just why I wanted to ask you to clear that up, because I don't think you've really had a chance to address a lot of these things, especially that you've never really talked about it. So
No, I haven't. Yeah, but I mean,
so would you
you're
say
right.
would you say you regret saying that part now that all the tapes are out?
Regret, saying that I threatened to tell people that he raped me.
Yeah.
I mean, he did though.
I know, but what I'm saying is, obviously he claims, and this is the next question. What were you told the reason for your case being shut down was? Because he claims that these tapes were a big part of why the case was eventually shut down, because he gave these tapes over to the police and apparently they believed him. So that's why I'm asking you if you regret saying that, because now it's on tape and it was taken and it was used against you. So that's why I was asking that question.
I mean, like I said earlier, I didn't even know I was on tape as well. But I called the detective back up, and basically they said that it was dropped because there was not enough evidence. And I've never dealt with lawyers or detectives, so I was in the saddest. I was like, oh, okay. And then we just hung up. I didn't know what to do further the conversation. I didn't know what to do. I was upset.
Well, yes, it's not an easy thing at all, especially when you're just told something like that. I think it probably fits into what he's saying. I feel like these sort of cases are always very hard to prove in the first place. And when you have a lot of conflicting reports, such as he's got some tapes that maybe show one way and then there's another recording of him saying that you said no twice, there can sometimes be a lot of confusion. And I mean, you've seen it yourself on YouTube. There are a lot of people.
Steph, I want to read your comment. Steph said, it's not complicated. To keep yourself safe as a male, treat no as always meaning no. I like that. And Inferno said, pretty much, yep, Steph, I'm male. Yes, exactly. Treat no as meaning no. There shouldn't have to be a second, third, fourth, fifth time of saying no. If somebody says no, just take it as no. All right, let's see. Joe said it's what they can prove to a jury. Very terrible. He knew what he was doing by recording it and pressuring her to say what he wanted her to say. That's what it looks like to me. He took advantage of her.
And like, if you put yourself into that position, you know, you're away from home, you flew out to meet someone, they're obviously not who you thought they would be, and you're stressed, you're emotionally worn out, you don't really have like your needs being taken care of in a comfortable sense, you're panicked, and yeah.
Chandra said, if I heard no, time to go. There you go. If you hear no, it's time to go. I like that. Put that on a t-shirt.
People who are for you, there are a lot of people who are against you, and you have to remember, if you had like a jury of people, it is very likely that would be the same thing when it comes out there. So it's not maybe a 100% factual case that people are going to look at and think, yeah, this is definitely what happened one way or the other. And because there was just a lot of misinformation out there and there was a lot of confusing things put out there, but hopefully with time, people can see what the truth is for themselves. People can make their own minds up. So the last thing I want to ask is if you have anything else you would like to add or anything else you want to clear up.
I mean, people were wondering why I stayed the extra days with him and streamed at the mall, because that happened after that. I mean, I didn't have anywhere else to go at the time, and I don't know if you or anybody else knows this, but I literally, after that happened, after he raped me or caressed me into sex, either way, I literally was sick. Like every morning I woke up, I didn't even want to leave to go out to stream. I literally threw up in the bathroom. I was ill for some strange reason. And then at the mall, he tried to get $100 from me for cocaine as well.
What
So
the
he was
heck?
trying to ask me for money for drugs, and I was like, no.
So after everything he's put this poor girl through, he's asking her for $100 so he can buy drugs.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's really fucked up.
Oh my gosh. He's freaking unbelievable. Unbelievable. Everybody, if you're just tuning in for the first time, we're reviewing RealStream News. What he's put Amber through is what we're reviewing right now. And this might not be the best stream for you as we're talking about SA. So if you need to, please skip this. I just want to give everybody a warning who might be coming in or
I'm
trying to
not
figure out what's
giving you
going
money
on.
for cocaine. I'm not doing cocaine with you or cocaine at all. But like, those are some of the major things, other major things that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people, they wonder why is she still there? Why is she still streaming?
Carrie, thank you so much for the super sticker. I got a super sticker. I got a super sticker. Carrie sent me a super sticker. Woohoo! Thank you so much, Carrie. Thank you, thank you. And Bruno said the other side to the drug money request on his end is her accepting things at totally fine. Wow, he's just unbelievable. It just keeps getting worse, you guys. Like,
You're gonna say that a lot.
oh no, I am. Oh no. Let's count how many times. I'm saying it one time right now. It keeps getting worse.
And my thing that I always said in videos was I always thought, well, one, you had nowhere else to go. He's paid for your flight out there. You've got a flight back. You've not got the money to pay to get yourself back out there. I mean, once it all went down, was it Beck and the police and whatever, they all helped
It was
got you home?
Beck paid for my hotel. The police
Yeah.
paid for the room the next night. Maxie bought me food, which she bought me a lot of food. I didn't expect that. And they brought me to the airport the next when I had to leave. And I did keep my distance as well. Like we went to McDonald's and I was completely ignoring, like, away from him, and he got so pissed off. But like I wanted to keep my distance.
Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't just, it felt bad. Like after that, I just couldn't do it. But
Okay.
I didn't know the state either where I was. So yeah, basically I was stuck there until
I want to point something out here.
Yeah.
RSN always tends to try to offer girls a business deal, like a podcast, or for example, with Amber Clements, we're going to do this and we're going to make a thing of this, and we're going to do like a streamer situation where we'll get donations, we'll get, viewers, and it's always a business deal that goes awry, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Wow. Did you guys notice that too?
Had a way out.
In response to the situation, RealStream News was very vocal, and that how he thought her accusations were nothing other than falsehoods.
Did you tell any lies in that situation?
No, absolutely not. Zero.
Well then,
Zero lies.
if you didn't tell any lies, why is it that after this happened, you got on stream with her and admitted that she said no to sex twice before you had sex with her? So was that a lie? Yes or no? That's not a lie. You said you didn't tell any lies.
When we got on stream, we were supposed to talk about literally like when we talked, because I had the recordings before I went on stream. Those are recordings that you heard. Then we went on stream. Like we were supposed to just talk about literally just hooking up, and then she went on there and said that. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, why are you turning it into this when that's not even what it was? Not to mention 3 days prior, you said, if you piss me off, I'm going to say you raped me, which also we had on recording.
You admitted she said no twice.
Okay, and like, listen, when we were there, she said like, no, like it wasn't like, listen, it was not like that the way like people are trying to make it seem, though. You know what I mean? It wasn't like that. Like I got up.
Please explain to me. When someone says no, does that
are you just trying to make this into something? What is wrong with you, Rag?
I'm being serious right now.
In all seriousness, like there wasn't like any assault or anything like that. We were like, she invited me into the bed and we were chilling, and that's it. That's all that really happened, man.
So she invited you 100%. She invited.
Yes, 1,000, 1,000,000%.
She invited you to do what?
To go over there and hook up.
To go over there and hook up. This woman you had just met. How long has she been there? A few days?
About a day.
About a day.
Yeah.
Okay, she'd been there about a day. She invites you to the bed to hook up. And then when you go to have sex, she's like, no.
She was hesitant at first, and then she said
okay, so then why did she invite you to the bed if she was going to say no? I don't see
that's the thing though. That's my point. It does make sense though. That's what I'm telling you. That's
but she then said no a second time.
No, she was hesitant at first.
You admitted she said no twice.
When I was on stream, I said some fucking shit that is
so
not
you did
how
lie.
I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that.
So you lied, yes or no? You told me yes. You told me only minutes ago that you did not tell any lies in that whole situation, and now you're saying that you lied.
Right? Come on, stop. Please, just stop.
I mean,
just stop.
You said you did not tell any lies. Now you're telling me
any lies.
that
no,
you
I'm
did
not telling
tell
any lies.
Okay, thank you so much, Chandra, for the super sticker. It looks just like Chachi. I got a super sticker. Chandra sent me a super sticker. Woohoo! Thank you so much, Chandra. It literally looks just like Chachi. And yeah, again, you know what? I want everybody just to remember this. CJ doesn't take no for an answer. He doesn't. If that's anything we learned, he will pressure you, he will annoy you, he will harass you to get what he wants. Yeah, CJ acts the same when cornered. Yeah, his anger comes out when he's cornered, I realize. Or if anybody's speaking the truth, he gets intimidated by that. Inferno's the translation of RealStream News. Could you stop paying attention to what I'm saying? It's making me look worse than I already am. Exactly, Inferno. Hey, Lana. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying the stream. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you, everybody, by the way. Tay, do you have anything to add before I hit play or anything you want?
Nope, you're good.
Okay, all right. Just let me know if you want me to pause and I will.
Lies. No, I'm
You're
not telling
saying
any
I
lies.
said
No.
something I shouldn't have said. That means you lied.
He even went as far as to start referring to her as Scamber.
And that's kind of what that whole Scamber situation was like.
Scamber? Did you really just call that poor woman Scamber after what you did to her?
Did you really just call that
why are you
poor
like
woman?
this? You may think I'm being serious here.
I really hope you're not.
You're calling
I
this
hope
girl
you're not.
Scamber after these even if these accusations are false. Okay.
Yes,
Even
I
if
didn't
they're
give her
false.
that name. I didn't give her that name. That's actually what
But
everybody that's
you're
given her that
calling
name.
her,
I didn't.
you're going to mock your alleged victim.
Like what? What do you mean? Like if
This
she's
girl-
lying, if
this-
she's lying
okay.
about me, why?
How-
What am I?
for
What
example,
obligation do
say
I
for
have
example-
to protect her?
Say for example, you went to court, right? Say these accusations are entirely false. Say I believe.
are,
Say
they
say they're
are.
false. Okay, so let's go in this. I'm not saying they are, but say they are. Okay, just for this hypothetical situation, you now go to court and you are arguing this case, and you get up on the stand and you call her Scamber,
Oh,
or
of course,
someone
if
plays
it was
this
going,
stream.
obviously,
What
if I was
someone
going,
plays
if I
this
was,
stream?
obviously, if I
What
go to
someone
like
plays
when I,
this stream
all
and
right,
you're
obviously
calling her
when I go,
Scamber.
obviously, like listen, and I do plan on suing her. Just keep that in mind. When I do go to court, obviously, I'm not going to call her Scamber rag. Let's be.
But
let's
you
be-
just
let's-
did. Someone
Just because I think it's.
They
And
can say,
if they
"Look at
do,
this
and
guy,
if
he's
they do,
calling her
they take it to
Scamber."
court. And if they do, they take it to court.
Surely, if you, I mean,
if they take that clip to court, then they do.
I said
don't
you
know.
seemed smart earlier, but I have to take that back. Why would you come on a stream and call your alleged victim Scamber?
Because she's not a victim. That's why.
It also came out that while she was with him, he had recorded her in private without her knowing it. One of the recordings that he released after the fact had Amber threatening him, telling him that if he made her mad, she would tell people that he had raped her.
You said.
I didn't say anything about rape, bro.
Then what are you saying?
Nothing. Literally. I'm pissed off about what just happened.
And in another clip where she was on the phone with her mother, she can be heard telling her mother that it wasn't rape.
It would be considered rape, and it's not. If I called the cops, I'd have to say he raped me.
Right.
It's not rape.
RSN claims still to this day that it was by supplying these tapes as evidence to the police that he managed to get the case against him shut down. RealStream News has spent a lot of time trying to discredit Amber, her past, and her accusations against him. As you can see, we have two very different sides to all of this, and we also have evidence that seemingly points in two different ways. On one hand, we have proof that Amber said no twice.
I said no twice.
And that she had been drinking, yet sexual intercourse still occurred.
I guess there was some drinking, all right?
But on the other hand, there are also these very, very concerning tapes. Overall, this is just a very, very confusing situation. But there is still more to cover, and there is some of this that we can look a little closer at. First thing I want to know is, can you just clarify and give a bit of information on your experience with this sort of thing and what gives you sort of the right, the authority to kind of talk about this? You know what I'm saying? Because people might question, oh, why is she got a right to speak about this? What does she know? So
Right.
if you could clarify that.
Yeah, a lot of people are really surprised or doubt that well, what do you know about certain cases or how these things work or whatever? What makes you a reporter or a police officer? Well, technically, I'm neither one of those specific things. However, I volunteer as an advocate for different rape crisis centers, and in doing that, you become really aware of the legislative process of sexual battery. So whenever it comes in as a criminal case, I know is at least varying from about 3 states how that process works up until prosecution. So as far as, filing the report, starting an investigation, what you deal with a detective, how it goes to the DA, or there's a number of different things that a district attorney is called, but essentially it's somebody that kind of oversees a certain jurisdiction of a state, And depending on the size of the state and the population will depend on how many there are in a particular state. And what makes cases like this so difficult, and I mean, rape cases in general, so difficult, is that a district wants to be known for the cases that it's won. So when you're delivered a case that it might not
They
win,
don't want to take it.
they don't want to take, and it's really, really screwed up, because they'll take something like, oh, well, this is a case of like child molestation, for example. That would be really easy to win, so they'll take those and boom, but if it's something that might take a little bit more effort, they won't do it. However, what they'll end up doing is awarding the victim compensation. So they still acknowledge that it's a crime, but they don't go forward with the prosecution. And that's probably where the justice system will fail rape victims.
Okay. Moving on to the Amber situation specifically. Obviously, there were recordings of Amber where she threatened RSN by saying, if you piss me off, I'll tell everyone you raped me. And there was another one where she said specifically to her mother on the phone, she said, it's not rape. There's been a lot of people arguing about why she said these things. Some people thought that proves that she was lying about everything. Other people thought it didn't really mean much. So why do you think Amber reacted in the way that she did, and any sort of the actions that she took? Why do you think she reacted a certain way? Do you think there's a reason for that?
Yeah. Typically, whenever someone goes through a traumatic experience, there can be a lot of volatile emotional responses, and they vary. However, they all fall under the umbrella of something that's known as rape trauma syndrome. And it can go from emotional, physical, behavioral. But a lot of people don't want to believe that it happened. So there's a lot of doubt. Like, that's probably the most common one. And they'll try to kind of ignore it, and then there's the realization period, there's intense anger, but the thing is, and this is what people forget, is that none of how the victim responds cancels out the fact that a crime happened. It doesn't matter what that's not how that works. It's not like a math problem. That's not how that works. So a person is going to have this occur to them, and it's going to be incredibly surreal. And there's a lot of thoughts as far as the crisis. There's the disorganization stage and the reorganization stage, and the disorganization stage can elicit a lot of really responses that don't make a whole lot of sense, or that it interferes with their daily life. Like, I'm going crazy, I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm just going to drink and forget about it, I'm going to sleep it away. And in the reorganization stage, that's when you start moving on with, here, okay, I'm going to change my number, I'm going to move. Like, these are the coping mechanisms that tend to happen as a part of that. So it can all be pretty well explained. It just, a lot of people don't know about the specifics of what happens to rape victims. And that's something that I've unfortunately had to see a lot of people go through, but it's at least helped me understand what it looks like.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a misconception of how it all works. I think a lot of people are very used to movies or TV shows where someone's grabbed and someone forces themselves on you, and then just there's maybe hysteria that ensues from there, and it's just all very clear cut in those sort of cases. But from my understanding, from anyone I've ever spoken to, actual real life rape cases never work that way. It's never so clear cut. It's never.
No.
And usually when something like that happens to someone, is it not something like most of these cases? It happens with someone who's close to you or someone you know. Whereas movies would have it, would have you think that people are jumping out the bushes and grabbing women all the time, whereas usually it's people who you know or that are close to you.
I just wanted to check on everybody and see like how everybody's doing through all this, because I know it's like a lot of information. I know a lot of it's very hard to hear. I feel like I'm learning a lot. Is this person's name Lola? I just want to be clear.
Yes. I actually know Lola Bohemia. We haven't talked in quite some time, but she was always really kind to me. And, she's gone through a lot. It's not my story to tell, but she is really educated and, respected.
Yeah, wow. Lana said, "Are we watching part 2 tonight?" No, we're gonna watch part 2 tomorrow if you guys want to. I would be down for that. Thank you, Aaron. Please leave a like and subscribe if you're new. Thank you so much. And I did want to say, you guys, too, thank you. Like, I noticed everybody looking out for each other and the mods being really on top of the comments. So I wanted to just thank you guys so much. We're probably going to watch some cute puppies after this because we're going to need, like, something to shake off the sadness. Because I don't know about anybody else, but, like, my heart just still breaks for Amber. Like, and knowing that he's still trying to control the situation and control her. It's sad. It's really sad.
It really is. And like one of the things I think is really hard to take in as somebody who's been a mod in his community for the last year, it's just like, wow, the amount of times that she's exploited after all this. And this series was 3 years ago or so, I think, right? Correct? Maybe 2. But yeah.
He knows what he's doing, that's for sure. He knows what he's doing, and he knows how to keep her. I don't know if he's keeping her scared or what, but I just pray, like, I'm going to pray for her tonight that she finds the strength to be able to just stop communication, you know?
So I think there's a lot of misrepresentation in the media and stuff about these sort of crimes. So that doesn't help when it comes down to explaining why people act in certain ways. Obviously, you've heard the recording of that Discord call that multiple people were in after the incident took place. And that was where CJ was in there, and some people took what he was saying as an admission of guilt. He said what happened was wrong.
After she said to come cuddle, who said that first? Who even brought that up? Are you saying that she initiated that whole thing?
I said what I said, and then just like, wait, you want to come over here? Because we were both going to go to bed, but it was just like the conversation kept going. You understand what I'm saying?
Just
Okay,
help
so
me understand
like when you shut off all the lights and you plan on going to sleep, because that's how it was.
Yeah.
You know, we were gonna go to sleep and everything like that, and everything. Like I just said that, I was just like, oh man, I thought they were gonna give us 2 beds. It's just like, well, do you want to come over here? It's like that's how it was. Do you want to come over here and cuddle? So I went over there. Okay. And then so we were cuddling and shit, and like like what people do when they cuddle and shit, like just I don't know, just like touching her leg and shit, and like and so like
was she touching you back?
I guess
With her, was she touching you back with her hand? Was she reciprocating this?
Was she doing the bump and grind?
Yeah. Anything?
Well, kind of like, you know what I mean, like kind of pushing back into me, kind of, yeah.
Okay, all right, okay, we got that going on. So then you became aroused, and then you touched her. You thought, oh, this is a consensual thing.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
that's
go
what
ahead.
I thought.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so then, but you put your hand on her thigh, and at this point, she tells you no.
No, my hand was on her thigh a while before that. My hand was
okay. So
always on her
where
thigh.
did she say no?
It was just like kind of like it seemed like a cute no to me. It was just like no, like it wasn't like a, you know what I mean. It wasn't. It was like within the same sentence, and then like it was just like, all right, yeah. Never.
And she looked at you directly and said no, or how did she say no? Not that it matters.
She wasn't looking at me directly. No.
Okay. And
we were both still cuddling, and like I was just like rubbing her and stuff. You know what I mean? That's why if someone like
okay,
like it wasn't like I'm saying I didn't like force you know what I'm saying? I didn't force a situation. If she was like, yeah, this is how
Answer the goddamn question. Was it wrong or not?
I just don't fucking like that the conversation turned the way it did. I don't like the way it turned.
Was it wrong or not? Answer the fucking question. Was it wrong or not?
I probably should have left her when she was drinking. Yeah.
You know what? No, answer the fucking question.
I just did answer the question. I said I should have left
Was
her
it
when she
wrong
was
or
drinking.
not? Just say yes or no.
You bought her alcohol.
I didn't buy her alcohol. It was just I had it there.
Regardless,
You've given it to her.
answering yes or no. Was it wrong?
Okay, it doesn't matter. I gotta.
Yes, it does. It matters.
The situation.
Was it wrong?
Take care of the situation.
You know
okay?
what?
So
you know what?
let me handle this.
Let me finish. Be a man, admit if it was wrong or not.
Yeah. Well, apparently I can't take care of this.
Do you think
okay?
it was wrong?
Should I have let her drink? No.
No. Was it wrong? Was the whole asking? If you know what? Do you think your actions were wrong?
As soon as she said no, I should have just let it go. Sure, it was wrong.
So you think it was wrong?
I just, oh my God, see, this is how it goes, man.
You just have to say one word, yes or no.
Okay, Rag. I gotta go take care of this. It's been fun.
I didn't
Again,
answer.
Oh my gosh.
I just fucking said it. I just said it. Yes, it was wrong. Okay, whatever. It was wrong. Yes.
But one of the things he said in there, and he acknowledged the fact that Amber never once expressed or slightly said anything to do, like she never said that she was attracted or interested in him. And Masked Babe, you can hear in this clip, is pressing him on this because Amber had actually said on live streams and stuff she wasn't interested, and he had made it clear that he was interested in her, but she had never reciprocated those feelings, and Masked Babe pressed them on it, and he admitted that she never once indicated that she was interested or attracted to him.
That's what I was trying to make it clear to her. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought I made it clear before she came here that she. Like, I even said it in a text message. Like I would like to date you. Like I even said that in a message. I don't know. I don't know. I
No,
guess
the
not.
answer is no to that. You just look. Now is not time for your pride. Okay, set that aside because this is a serious question. So just be honest. Did she ever at one point tell you that you were attractive or that she was attracted to you? Yes, no.
I mean, I guess not. Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, but you know what I mean? There's social cues, and
At any point other than when you started touching her, when she was intoxicated, did she imply or say to you that she was interested in having any sort of intimate relationship with you? Yes, no.
She wasn't there for that long.
Before she came there, because you guys did this on the first night. This is when she was drunk, okay? So before she got drunk, did she, in messages or anything, imply that she was interested in you sexually or romantically?
We didn't talk that much. That's the thing, you know.
So no. So you guys didn't talk that much, but she came to see you for 6 days in a hotel room. I'm not trying to attack you, but this just doesn't,
No, you know what?
That doesn't make sense, right?
That wasn't too smart on my idea, my part. No.
And how important do you think that fact is to all of this?
It's very important, actually. The fact that she never gave consent and the fact that it is documented that she actually said no and he acknowledges it is enough for a prosecution. I'm so surprised at the video where that's made abundantly clear that nothing has been done. Clearly, the police have not seen
He
this.
claims that he gave these recordings of her claiming that it wasn't rape and that she was going to threaten to tell people that she had raped him. And he says that those tapes that he gave over to the police are what closed down the case. He says that's the reason the case was shut down, because they believed that was sufficient evidence to clear his name.
Well, and then to that I respond, we've never seen any documentation. We've never seen any paperwork. There would be something that states that.
The situation, as mentioned before, is one that has caused a great divide between all people. Many people believe that Amber was lying, and they will point to events in her past to help solidify this argument. But mostly this comes from the recordings that RSN has released. But on the flip side, many people do still believe that the evidence against him is very, very damning. He agreed with her story when she told it, that she had said no twice before they had sex. And on a Discord call with others after the fact, he admits that he thought it was wrong and that he regretted having sex with her. To many people, that alone was an admission of guilt. But the RSN story does not end there.
Because I believe he did rape her. I believe that fully. It's still hard for me to talk about.
I bought him a Chromebook. I got him a Valentine's Day present. I got him birthday presents.
We'll just pin this on Jilly so that you can prove your loyalty to him, almost like you're in a cult.
You kind of set this up for yourself. I thought you were going to explain the situation. You didn't tell me you were going to show nudes. He's like, yeah, I did, and you told me to.
Do you guys want to see the things that people sent me? The nudes? Oh, check it out. More tush right here. More rude. Doing more bullshit like that. Woo! Look at that. I'm done. And if you fucking assholes keep fucking disliking these videos and talking shit, I am going to continue to do this.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I stuck to I knew I had a bad feeling about this guy. I knew it. I'm so glad that I never went on his panel or anything. Like, and I want to thank you for coming into the chat, Tay, and like sharing your story and being willing to come up and just share your story to help warn others. Like, that's really brave of you, and I respect you so much for that.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you again to everybody in the chat and to you as well for giving me an opportunity to just have that chance, really. And, you know, there is a level of fear to it, absolutely, because of what he does. And I am expecting, you know, an attack or streams or multiple and inner workings behind the scenes. I mean, it's already been going on. I don't foresee it to stop. But you know what I think? If we see something, say something, and really don't let anybody manipulate you into not speaking up about truth.
I love that you said that. And just let you know, like, we have your back here. So, I mean, you're part of our community now. So if he comes for you, he comes for us, and we have your back, okay?
Oh, thank you.
We have your back. Do you guys want to watch, like, oh, actually, you know what? I saw Foodie Beauty put a community post Rage. Do you guys want to look at it before we go, or do you want to watch a cute, like, bearded dragon video or something? Also, Tater, I'm just gonna call you Tay, because when I try and say your name, the screen name, I mess it up sometimes. She has a channel, you guys, so I'm gonna share it in the chat right now. I saw you did a makeup palette review earlier, so if you guys like that, please check it out. And do you want to come on for part 2? Would you be open to that, or are you busy tomorrow? What does that look like for you?
I can definitely come on tomorrow if it is a tiny bit earlier, if that works out for you, because, well, my husband gets up so early for work. But yeah, I would absolutely love to be here for part 2, and there's a part 3 if you want me here for that too.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
Definitely. So I will get in touch with you tomorrow. I think I could probably do it a bit earlier. Maybe we could aim for like 11 p.m. my time. Would that work?
That works out. That works out good.
Okay. If not, we can always move it to another day. But if it works for you, I will. I think I could do it. I think I could pull it off by 11 p.m.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. I'll go ahead and jump down, but thank you guys again, and I'll be in the side chat. And
Okay. I'll see you there. Thank you. Bye. All right, you guys. Let me stop sharing the documentary. I'm so glad we got to watch that together. So I'm going to read the community post, you guys, really fast. And then I have to start my process of falling asleep, because you guys know it takes me 855 years. I really wish I was one of those people who could just fall, like, when my head hits the pillow, like, fall asleep. But no, just doesn't happen for me like that. So she did go live, you guys. I could probably come on tomorrow in the afternoon to watch it if you guys want to. I can't watch it tonight. Let me share the screen, and we are going to read this community post. Oh no, Danny. Oh my gosh, Danny, are you okay? I saw you were on MFW's panel for like 600 hours. Like, it feels like I would go and do something and I'd come back and check in. Yeah, I know you were 8 hours. I was going to say, like, I feel like I ran 3 different errands and I came back and you were on there for a really long time. All right, I want to make sure you guys can kind of see it. Okay, so this is from 53 minutes ago, you guys. And it says a simple Google search will show you that most women in domestic abuse situations, I don't give a F if you simp for it and don't believe me it happened, drop charges or lie for their abusers. If you want to laugh at me now for things that happened in February until April, go ahead. That's on you. This loser is still abusing me online, and all people can do is support it just to try and spite me. Won't work, by the way. The email below shows the reason I dropped the charges or wanted to. Because this woman abuser fed me sweet lines and it was too late. I already had feelings. Biggest regret of my life. I even say it in the email to the detective that he did those things, but I didn't want him in trouble. I still wanted to help him. Foolish me. Oh well, my karma is Sala, and yours, Swordfish, will be prison. Inshallah. And then she shows the email. We've seen this before. Upon further thought, I would like to retract my statement. I mean, those things did happen, but I find the possibility of a legal battle very overwhelming, especially since I don't think my mental health can handle it. I also have no proof. My word against his, and again, my mental health dealing with him in a battle cannot handle this. There's also the fact, and something much to admit this, I am still in love with him. Oh, she put the throw up emoji so we couldn't see that part. Even though he did all of those horrible things I'm accusing him of. I care about him and don't want to press charges on him. I'm so sorry. Chantal. Let me read the chat, you guys. Yeah. Yeah, Insomniacs Unite. We need to make I need to make some kind of pajama merch or something with hashtag Insomniacs Unite or hashtag Insomnia Crew, something like that. MFW is going to be big puking tomorrow, probably. She's been drinking for I think 5 days now in a row. I know her liver's probably mad at her. Okay, there's only 3 comments, which means she's deleting them because this was from 53 minutes ago and she's already been live too. So Lil Mama, which I think is a sock account, or Missy Manson, said, well said. And Brooke said, he's disgusting. I know this is extremely hard and I can't imagine being in your situation, but you've got to stop bringing attention to it. Don't pour gas on the fire. If you stop acknowledging him or any of the hate, eventually he will go away. Plenty of people believe you, so you don't have to keep addressing it. Enjoy your new journey with the stud of a real man you have. Oh gosh. So this is what I think, you guys. I think I heard on Twitter, I've been reading on Twitter before I went live, that Nader dropped a bunch of voicemails of Foodie Beauty giving him advice on what to say and do, and saying the only people you have to answer to are the cops, and I think you should say this and do that. And he's releasing those voicemails. So I don't know. I think she's trying to deflect or put the attention away. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, Lisa, the withdrawals are going to be so bad. I was one of those people who drank for a week straight and then would try and detox and drink. It was just bad. It was really bad. Detoxing sucks. Withdrawals suck. I'm sorry, all right, Danny. Hopefully she'll love herself enough to stop one day. I know when I was in addiction, I kind of thought I deserved it. I thought oh, the mistakes I've made in life, this is my punishment. But it doesn't have to be a punishment. And whatever you've done in your past, you can change your life around, So I feel a lot of times we I don't know, we stay stuck because we don't think we deserve something better. But everybody does. If you're in this chat right now, just know you deserve better. Oh yeah, Carrie, I don't know if you've heard my story, but I've had a seizure detoxing from alcohol. I've had a stroke detoxing from alcohol. A lot of bad stuff happened detoxing. So when you're at that level of drinking, and she's admitted it herself, she has to keep it in her system. So it's just, it's hard and it's sad. And, I may not agree with most of the things she says and does, but I even think MFW deserves a life of sobriety. So does Chantal. And they deserve to take classes and find out about why they say racist things. They deserve to take anger management. Everybody deserves to change their life around. So, oh really, Danny? Thank you, Carrie. I'm glad I'm still here too. It wasn't my time. One of these streams, I want to tell you guys all the stories. I've almost died, I don't know, so many times. One time I could feel myself actually passing on. It was a crazy feeling. I didn't, obviously. And it was kind of weird because my parents found out where I was and busted in and saved me for I don't even know how many times, but they did that many times through my addiction where they said they just had a bad feeling and something told them to check on me, and they would bust through the door and something horrible would be happening. You're in recovery too, Carrie? Oh, that's amazing. Congratulations on your recovery. That's awesome, Danny. Congratulations. All right, you guys, I think I'm going to start my journey and my process. So, like, officially, I remember starting drinking when I was 21 because, like, alcohol wasn't a big thing in my family. Like, nobody really drank, it just wasn't a thing. And so I remember, like, knowing when I turned 21, like, I could do what I want and my parents couldn't judge me or say anything because I'm 21 and I could do what I want, you know? So at 21, I started drinking officially, and by 24, I was a full blown alcoholic. Um, yeah, I think we should do a stream where we can share our stories and everything, and then after, I will private it to keep it as private as it can. I want people to be able to feel free to share, and yeah, so we'll set that up soon. I think within this week, it would be cool to have a recovery stream, and I can share more of my stories, and I've been through a lot, so just know it's gonna be rough hearing some of my stories, but I'm here and I survived and I'm doing better than ever. Yeah, Carrie said kudos to all those sober folks out there. Love y'all. Love you too, Carrie. All right, you guys. Thank you everybody for hanging out. Thank you for sharing your experience. I've seen the comments in the chat, even if I'm not replying to all of them. I've seen your input and your opinion and your experience with CJ. So thank you for sharing. And you guys, thank you for being kind, respectful, and just being here. All right, you guys, have a great day, great evening wherever you are. And if you're on the same time as me, West Coast time, go to bed. This is your sign to go to bed. All right, bye, you guys. Sweet dreams.